Got a barber here with another edition of Cash or Trash, where we look at barber videos that they posted and we determine, is it cash or is it trash? Now, how do we judge? We judge by technique, we judge by haircut, and we judge by the overall finished product, right? So if it looked good and we like it, then it's cash. Get that man his paper. But if we look at it and we don't like it, then it's trash. Get that man his walking papers for that haircut. Now keep in mind, we're all barbers here. So we don't want to be disrespectful, and we're not trying to belittle any barber because it takes a lot to do what we do, all right? But we're going to have fun with it, a little bit of constructive criticism if needed. And other than that, let's just watch this show in a respectful way.
It's another K-Town beat.
Best drop fade. Period, Mr. Outline. The tats. Ooh, he got the tats on him. Yeah, let's see what you got. I like the intro.
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube, it's your boy, Mr. Outliner. I'm back.
Got
got the drop fade with the
got that curly, wavy.
Man, this haircut was kind of challenging.
He already had this cut. Okay.
And I say that because if
it's
you
not
look
a
at
new
his
cut.
hair, look, it's thick, it's thin, it's, density issues going on here,
wall.
Front line is kind of light,
but I'm sorry.
We're going to work our way through it. So, first thing you want to do is keep your first guideline really low. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm keeping the guideline low. Now, the thing that I'm going to show you in this video is how to keep it low, right? How to keep your drop fade low without going up too high, and that's probably a problem that a lot of people have, is going up too high on the drop fade.
Oh man,
right? So I got a method that you could use in order to keep it low. It'll help you out so you can kind of like see it better. So I'm using the designer today.
Right? My favorite clippers.
And the trick for me on doing the low fade
1.5
is to skip steps, right? And on top, I got a 1.5. You see his hair is so thick.
He didn't even comb the hair. I'm gonna assume he combed the hair off camera, but new barbers, please remember, comb the hair. Comb the hair, because when you comb the hair, it gives you the opportunity to see if they got any cowlicks in their hair. You don't want to go over their hair. You don't got no, and they got cowlicks. You know what I mean? But you don't know. You feel me? So you want to comb the hair to make sure, that the hair goes in the direction that you're ready to cut. They don't have no cowlicks, no swirls, any imperfections in their hair that will cause you to cut a gap or something like that in it. So be mindful. Comb the hair first. Pay attention to the direction of the hair. That way, when it's time for you to cut, you'll have a smooth, consistent cut.
I said it's thin in certain places. So a 2 is like perfect.
And I've never seen this video. I don't know how old this video is, but I'm telling you from my personal experience that hair like this, they usually have cowlicks like right around the front part of their hair. So and sometimes guys with hair like this got 2 swirls at the top of their head. So you want to be real careful, mindful. Comb the hair first. Understand which way the hair go, and be more. It's kind of like how the carpenters say, measure twice and cut once. You want to be on that type time.
For his hair, but it really wasn't the height of a 2, and he looked like Jason Tatum a little bit. If y'all see that in the comments, drop that in the comments. He kind of looked like Jason Tatum. But yeah, so a 2 is like perfect, but his hair is not a 2, so I had to hit it with the 1.5. So I'm just kind of showing you how I work my way through it, through the waves and things like that. I didn't want to apply, or you don't want to, and I didn't want to apply too much pressure to the waves, right? When you have waves like that, that's that thick and thin at the same time, you want to use light pressure in order to try to get the most even look, right?
When you say thick and thin, that means that means the hair texture is inconsistent, right? That means as you see certain parts, right here is thin, here is thick, here is thin, here is thick, and it's inconsistent. That's why you need to comb the hair so you can understand exactly how the hair pattern goes.
Make sure you follow the wave pattern. The other part is the waves are big, so they not small, compact, where you can just run over and they just kind of stick together. It's because the waves are so big. So you have to pay attention to that. You have to take your time with that. I ain't gonna bore you with, knocking the hair all the way off the top. I'm just kind of giving you a visual of, how to go about the process and how to get it to the length you want. So now, to the drop fade, you can use your comb and set it for certain heights, right? And you
So he went with the 1.5. He just went with the half guard, no guard, just clippers all the way open. He went with the half. Um, I personally, me personally, I would have went with a 2, right? I probably would have hit it with a 2 first, broke it down, open, then 2 close, then come back with a 1.5 guard, open, broke it down, 1.5 close, right? Then I would have broke it down with a 1 guard, open, all the way against the grain, and then broke it down to a 1 close against the grain, and then came with the half. But let's see the way he go. I think the way I would have did it would have probably cut the process down a lot more. But let's see what Mr. Outliner do. He got the tattoos, so he knows what he's doing, right?
go up too high. So if you use your comb, this is a visualization so you can see it. So if you use your comb and not take your blade up higher than where your comb is, you can keep that line low also. So you see I got a small line right here. It's maybe half an inch. So this is a visual. You can use your comb while you're doing the haircut to help you out. Then
And another thing is that the way I just described it, if you do it that way, you don't make any new hard lines. So you don't gotta fight to get a new line out. Like this line right here. Let's pay attention to this line right here. As the video go on, let's pay attention to this new line that he made, and let's see how well he erased that line. We already have our line of demarcation, our guideline right here, right? We have that, but let's go with this new line, and we're gonna put on our barber eyes for this video, so we're not gonna be too nice, okay? We're gonna use our barber eyes. So we already know he's gonna get rid of that, no problems. But let's look at this. Let's keep in mind. Here's your curve, boom, and then the line right from there.
Was no guard open. Then I want to come back right with my 1 guard right here. I use the 1 guard, and right where I got the comb at, another half inch. But I didn't use the comb this time and hold it in place. But I saw it, and I know exactly where I want it to be. So I got that part. I'm using the 1 open right here. I don't never go in with it closed, so I mainly go in with it, open. So that gives me room to operate just in case I misjudge how thick the hair is or how thin the hair is, right? So right here, I'm gonna use a 2 guard. This is what I was talking about skipping. So when I get to this area right here, I want to focus right where I pointed the comb at. I just want to put the 2 guard right there. Now, sometimes if you use a 1.5 right there, like normal, you'll end up bringing the fade up high, right? Because it's in the hair is thick. So I'm using this something that can blend into the thickness of the hair right here.
See, with this type of hair right here, it's not about fading because his hair is thick in some parts, thin in some parts. It's not about fading, it's about blending. Okay? Blending. Okay? Blending and fading is not always the same thing. You got to learn the difference. Listen, when you trying to be a seasoned barber, You got to learn the difference between blending and fading. This is a blend, okay? This is a blend. You got to learn how to blend this hair, okay? After you fade it. Right. What do you mean, Shy? Shy, what are you talking about? You're tripping over your words. All right, here's what I'm trying to tell you. If he would have took the steps that I named earlier, right? Two, 1 1/2, 1/2, right? He would have faded it, but then he would have to come back, point cut, touch a few spots, and then blend it, right? So now what he did was he took the 1 1/2, the one, the half, the one, you know what I'm saying? He did it the opposite way, right? So now he's at the two trying to blend. No, the two would have been the blending part in the beginning. So now he's going to have to work overtime. I'm not saying he's not going to be able to do it. I don't know. I'm with you guys, but I'm just giving y'all what I'm giving y'all my expert opinion. You know what I'm saying? So let's just see what he do, and I'm gonna try to zip it so y'all can learn from Mr. Outliner.
I want the fade to see exactly where it's at right now when I created that one with the one guard, when I created that Yankee guideline, I want the fade to sit right where I got the clipper at right now. That's where I want the fade to sit. I feel like that'll give him the best look. See, I told you he look like Jason Tatum, but that'll give you the best look, right? So I use a two guard, something big, and then I work my way down with the 1.5. See, like right here now, I got the 1.5. Now I can go right back into that thick spot, and I can barely hit it. I'm just really below it. You see where I put the cone? Like you stay
I
right
said I wasn't
there
gonna say
with it,
nothing.
right? So I'm just kind of just doing the same steps that I normally show you all how to do, but I kind of skip a step.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I said I'm gonna let y'all go, but it's a whole video. I'm not gonna let nothing. Now he's gonna have to take a three. He's gonna have to take a three to this weight line that he did all the way up here, or he's gonna have to leave it alone. He's going to leave it alone. He's either gonna leave it alone or take a three against the grain, or he can go with the one open with the grain and blend it in. But this weight line up here, that's another point that I'm looking at right now.
You go,
Right up here.
small to big and then big
Right up
to
here.
small back down. All open to close, So open to close is going to give you the best chance to be successful at most times in a haircut. Like I said, it allows you room for error, right? So with this too, also after you get the guidelines in and you get the fading, then you want to start using mainly the corner of your blade. And right here, I got the one guard. So all I'm trying to clean up.
Oh, I got a commercial. I'm gonna say this real quick. Commercials will happen until I get to 100,000 subscribers. I get to 100,000 subscribers, then just know, hey, I'll pay for the premium. You feel me? But until then, we getting commercials. I'll let me.
Clean up is that bottom part. You see the top, my thumb, I'm stretching the skin, and I'm also combing
Like,
at the
comment,
same
subscribe.
time. Now,
Help me get there.
I'm a fan of using the comb on haircuts. On this haircut, you can
Man said, now
use
he
a
a
brush
fan.
too, to like smooth the hair out or knock extra hair out the way.
You should have been
Sometimes
a fan.
with waves, you kind of want to use a brush, the same thing that they would use at home, so they can get.
I personally don't use a brush until I'm done with the haircut. Every time I cut hair, I use a comb. Whether I'm doing an even cut, what y'all call a Caesar, whether I'm doing a fade, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I'm using a comb because I always want the hair to stick up, and I always want to be able to catch as much hair as I can to get the most even cut as I possibly can. So I'm always going to use a comb. I would recommend that you always use a comb. Use a brush when you get done, then you can brush it down, put your holding foam on there, and then you can, when you're ready to wave it up. But while you're cutting, while you're doing work, I would recommend that you use a comb every time.
Same look, but majority of the time right here, it's about stretching the skin so you can get the look. You know what I mean? So I use the one there. Now I'm actually using a half guard.
He's doing
right?
way more work than
Using
he
the
needs
half
to.
guard right here to clean up more of the bottom line. The thing about these designers, I don't have a zero gap.
You don't need a
So
zero
I'm gonna
gap.
have to come back in with another clipper to
Not with
make
that
sure I
cut.
get even closer to knocking that first guideline out, right? So the half guard is good on hair like this because it's a half guard and it gives you a chance to work in between.
He got that fade. He got that line out of there pretty good.
The one in not having a guard
okay,
on.
Mr. Outline.
A lot of times I can manipulate it without using the half guard.
I stand corrected. He got that line.
But this texture of hair, sometimes you want to use that
right
half
there.
guard because
he got that line out of there pretty good.
It's gonna give you extra protection and it's gonna help you blend that much better, right? And I know I'm kind of in the way a little bit on this side, but on the other side, it'll show you a much clearer picture. But I want to explain it to you so you'll know, like, this is what the technique is. And then by the time we get to the other side, you can just watch the technique over and see, how I created the dry fade on him. So you see what I'm doing? I'm using the corner of the blades right here. I'm just making sure going over my work consistently, combing it down because you have to use both hands while cutting. The other hand has to be doing something, right? So if you're not stretching the skin with
about combing it,
you're using the comb that's in your hand to comb down. That's key. If you're not using both hands actively at the same time, then it's something you're doing wrong or something that you need to incorporate into your skill set, right? Always use both hands. Make sure that they're doing something, right? So you see the fade is coming out nice and towards the front right there.
He working.
I need to blend it.
He working. He working. Hold on now, Mr. Outliner. Let's back up a little bit. Okay. Are we still looking at this right here? I see still weight right around here, right? I still see. Yo, I'm judging with my barber eyes. I'm not judging with my customer eyes, yo. I'm using my barber eyes as a barber. Detail is important, yo. And I'm looking right here. I see weight. And then I still want to see what you do up here. Come on, Mr. Outliner, come through, man. I believe in you.
I need to blend it a little bit more close by the temple. And I'll show you that in the video. Like, sometimes you have to step back, look at your haircut, see what's wrong, see if you can spot a spot. So right here, this is all detailing.
Did you hear that right there? He said, sometimes you gotta step back, look at your haircut, and see what's wrong. Stop patting yourself on the back. Don't pat yourself. Yo, this fade ill. This fade dope. Don't care about none of that. The only thing you need to be figuring out when you're doing the cut is what's wrong with this cut. What is it about this cut that I need to fix? All right? The compliments are in the detail. If you want the compliments, put in the detailed work. Put in the detailed work.
Like picking your spot and seeing, what you want to fade and what needs to be fixed and not fixed, right? So
the fade coming out pretty good.
My magic clip right here because my designers are not zero gap.
Right.
And I don't want them zero gap.
Come on, Mr. Outliner.
Especially for like haircuts like this. I might not want to go straight into zero gap because I'm trying to be careful with the hair texture.
Okay.
And everything like that.
I still need to see what's going on up on this top row right there. Up in the nosebleed seat.
It's coming out nice. The blend is there. This is the look that I want. You can see the drop happening. Right. And also you can use the same tool that you use to make the guideline. You can use that tool to help you clean up too. And you see right here, I got the brush because I wanted to brush it. I want the hair to be off of the scalp. And look how much cleaner it looks.
You could have used your neck duster for that.
The only reason why I don't really like using the brush is because I know it's unsanitary, right? And for sanitary purposes, you're really supposed to use a comb because the brush retains a lot of hair from previous cuts. So
some cities states don't allow barbers to use a neck duster or certain brushes, so he's actually right on that. So but as an artist and trying to perform the perfect job, we need our tools, man.
So that's why I'm not a fan of it. And my my barber instructor, told us if we was using a brush on the floor, boy, we was gonna get it. So I'm not in the habit of using the brush, but I think you should use it in certain areas, certain placement to get the look and to be able to see how the haircut
School
is
in real
coming
life
out.
ain't never gonna be the same.
So that little area, I wanted to clean that up. And now you can kind of just take your same clipper and blend into the beard. This just saves you time, for later on. But you see how we got the beard blended in? We just use low guard open. We kind of use the scraping motion going up to manipulate the blade so we can get the blend. Now you see that blend? Pow! That ain't looking good, man. That buttery, man. That's what we doing out here. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so this side is a little bit more clear, a little bit more close up. You can see the exact same steps that I did. You see the thickness of his overall hair, where it could be light at, where it could be challenging at. I'm using the same step. You see where I put the comb at? Because I want the same look. So I use the same steps. You have to have a system, a process in order to achieve a consistent look.
Let me show you why I stopped paying
my dog taking the same steps, right? But it says the same thing. Yeah, I told y'all about man, listen, we already know about commercials. We ain't tripping. We ain't tripping about commercials. 100,000 subscribers. Let's go. I just want to take this opportunity to tell you guys, I'm Shada Barber. I've been cutting hair for over 30 years. I've been doing this for a very long time. And I decided to give my personal insight on different haircuts, different styles, and different techniques. This is not about the barber. This has nothing to do with the barber. I just want to give my personal knowledge away. So like, comment, subscribe, and let's get back to the video. The magic clips used to be my favorite too. I still got one or two pair of them Jones. I might switch back. It's tough because I had I had the low pro, the babyless low pro. The button fell off on me. So imagine me going back to the wall, senior cordless. Oh, my bad, designer. I'll do it. Sick 360 wave burst taper. Burst taper with the beard. Might have to check that out. Mr. Outliner. That boy working. Shouts out to Mr. Outliner. He working. I don't like that he not really. Oh man. Best drop fade, period. This is the reason why you shouldn't hype yourself up. Let the people hype you. Look at this weight. Look at this weight. Look at this weight. If you don't get rid of that, Mr. Outliner, we got a problem. We got your 2 guard. Let's go. And you breaking that joint down. If I kick a freestyle, then where would it go? I'm looking at this cut like I don't know. Mr. Outliner, what do you do when the waves going this way and that way too? Oh, yeah, you point cut with it. Fast forward. Come on, man.
It's another K-Town beat.
Now,
all right, let's go.
When you get to the
Yikes. Yikes.
You can use your...
Yikes. Right here. Comb the hair. First thing I noticed right there. First thing I noticed. Little patch. Ain't nothing but something to do. He can blend it, but let's see what happens.
The outline of detail it missed. For some reason, my camera kept saying it wouldn't record. Man, these cameras be doing crazy stuff.
For real, though.
I did manage to get a majority of the edge up.
No, for real, though.
Actually doing it, no enhancements, no nothing. This won't be a super sharp, crispy lineup.
It's all good.
Because his hair is thin and I didn't use enhancements at all on this haircut.
Oh, you saying you can't get it shoot? You saying you can't get it sharp?
But I wasn't able to. I have some pictures and some video from my phone, but the quality is terrible.
So you can't get it sharp without enhancements?
This is how the edge up came out, right? So, as you can see, if I was to use enhancements here,
you would probably cover up some of them wild spots.
You know what I mean? And I didn't try to push this line up back over here on this side.
That's a good job.
And that's the reason why it's not
what we talked about
on
earlier.
this side. But
what we talked about earlier, y'all. Did we not talk about this right here? Did we not talk about this whole line right here?
Also, right here, I want to show you where I left it too thick. So you can use clip over comb right here.
Oh wow!
Sometimes when you cut into
waves
this big, you have to find a way to make it blend seamlessly into the fade. This is the hard part about this type of hair, in this haircut, right? Because everything has to flow, it has to blend. But you see the blend, it came out nice. And this is mainly what I wanted to show you all anyway, is, how to get the drop fade and keep it low,
Look at my man.
Look at my man back here. So you see the haircut, it came out.
My man's back here. His face. His face. His face look like what I'm thinking.
And things like that. So you see the haircut, it came out pretty good. It's cool, The fade is excellent. I just wish I could have got the video part in of me doing the actual lineup. And here's a little bonus for y'all. I know I don't really show me doing, beards and things like that, but on a beard, you just kind of want to keep it high. You don't have to
I don't really,
press.
I ain't really here for the beard part. I ain't here for the beard. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't here for the beard. I'm gonna go back to this fade right here. I ain't here for the beard. Shouts out to him for the beard. I wanna look at this fade. I wanna talk about this line right here, all of this weight up in here, right? I wanna come back and I wanna kind of like dip back on this side and we talk about all this weight up in here, right? And then even when we talked about like combing the hair early on, right? Soon as he showed the front of his hair, I was like, oh wow. You know what I'm saying? Soon as he showed, oh yeah, look, he messed around and boom, right here. This right here. This ain't premature balding. That's not premature balding. That's a lack of he didn't pay attention. That's a lack of attention to detail. He didn't pay attention. So, Mr. Outliner, oddly, I've seen a few of his videos. And one thing I know about Mr. Outliner, he could cut. He could cut. You know what I'm saying? He could cut. This side right here should have never been flipped until, you know what I mean, till he got done with all of this right here. But then using a clipper over comb technique, right? Using a clipper over comb technique with a guard on. Yeah, Mr. Outliner, man, I gotta give it to you, bro. Best drop fade with waves, period. I gotta go against that, man. I'm is it cash? Get that man his paper, or is it trash? Get that man his walking papers for this cut. I'm gonna say, judging off of this cut alone, not any of his other bodies of work. You know what I mean? I respect this barber, man. I've seen some of his work before. This is trash, man. This cut is trash. Go ahead and say it out loud. Shouts out to Mr. Outliner though, because he could really cut. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes I think he picked either he don't. I just think he picked the wrong people sometimes as far as cutting go. You know what I mean? As far as filming. But paying attention to detail with hair like this, it's like you gotta be more specific on what you're doing. You know what I mean? You gotta be intentional. You gotta be intentional. That's the word I'm looking for. You gotta be intentional when cutting this type of hair. You know what I'm saying? Because this type of weight line all up in here and not really cutting this weight line, but you cut the weight line on the other side though. You feel me? So it's not matching up. You got a lot of weight here, not really blending, and then when you already started off by saying you had thick and thin hair, you didn't even display the level of professionalism that I know you're at. So I gotta call it with my barber eyes, bro. And that just is what it is, man. But look at the bright side, though. What's the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut? 2 weeks. I'm Shot a Barber. I'll see you next time on Cast of Trash. I'm out.